Time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Time with you,
It's 11:59 on Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song. Buy things from beerwebsites.com.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every night at midnight Eastern. That's 9 p.m. Pacific for about an hour each night. We'll do 3 gun-related topics each day. We do different topics throughout the week. We create those topics, or we come up with those live on Mondays. So anytime you want to help create the show, join us on Mondays or send us an email anytime and help be part of this interactive conversation we're trying to hold each night. We run it live on YouTube. We simulcast it over at gunchannels.com, which is a community we built a while back. It's built by shooters for shooters, and we're in the midst of rebuilding it. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we are watching the live conversation that goes on out there. That's what it's all about. We do these topics just to have things to talk about, and then the conversation develops through the people that are texting out there. And every once in a while, we'll bring somebody in as a guest or something, especially on a day like today when we were missing our Canadian. I guess he died. Sucks. He was pretty good. He was free help. But where was I at? We were simulcasting it on gun channels. Every once in a while, we'll take the best of audio, shove it out onto the internet as a podcast. So if you're listening to it that way, let us know you're out there. We appreciate everybody that does that. Listen to the show now and in the future by thumbing it up, getting that thumb up there, or giving us some comments once the shows go into video form, and subscribing to our channels. All those efforts let us know that you're out there, and as human beings, we appreciate that. Otherwise, it gets kind of frustrating to do the shows and not see those numbers grow. And then as far as the Skynet's concerned, the robots that run the internet, they see those likes and that participation with the channels, and you're no longer just an audience. You're no longer just a product out there that's being used. You're now part of this whole thing. Well, there's Bob. You're now part of the whole thing. So we really do appreciate the people that take the time to do all that stuff. It might seem petty, but that's one of the reasons we do the show, is to hopefully encourage you to take part in all that stuff that seems petty, or it seems like little 16-year-old girl popularity stuff. That's the stuff that makes these mechanisms work. We, as gun people, like machines. That's one of those machines. I take the time to talk about it at the beginning of the show each day because that's what I'm hoping to attract at this show, is people that are content creators, people that are willing to take their cameras out and post some pictures once in a while, participate in the conversation that way, and be part of the accumulation of gun stuff that's out there that I see as necessary for a strong Second Amendment foundation in our culture, more than just in our pocketbooks or in the economy. All right, that's enough preaching. We got host. We got Bob, just barely jumped in nick of time. Otherwise, he wasn't even get a paycheck. We almost got rid of your slot, Bob. We were going to give it away. Actually, sell it.
Yeah, no problem. I was I did a Jimmy.
But that's fine. That way, your guys are well rested for the show. There's very few of the warm-up shows where those guys sleep right up until
literally seconds.
Yeah, literally wake up and just turn the show on and be part of the show. That's the kind of refreshed hosts you get in the Daily Gun Show. Then we got Jimmy. Speaking of the refreshed hosts.
I'm usually stretching actually the whole 12 hours waiting for the Daily Gun Show. So yeah, where'd you go?
Jimmy is in Fahonex, and I'm down here in Tucson. And I don't know if we've talked about it in a while, but I asked you a little bit yesterday. But Jimmy basically falls asleep about halfway through the show, and then we have to push him off the couch when we're over. So I was asking you, how's that puppy doing?
Doing well, actually. She's playing around now. She still has a little cough, but let me see, it's 6 to 8 weeks. So there's about like 2 weeks left on her antibiotics, about ish. So that cough should be clearing up sometime soon. But other than that, she's back to annoying me like her regular self. So she's doing well. Thanks for asking.
Right on. Yeah, well, that's what they're for, right? To bug you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's, well, I don't like it. So we'll keep moving. So, anything? Do we gonna even stop? Or, I don't even know. I wasn't the one who wanted to pause at the beginning. I wanted to build this show completely anti news of the day, and then you guys forced me to break at the beginning of the show so we talk about news of the day. You know who started doing that? Dano. He insisted on talking about news of the day, and now I keep breaking out of habit now because of Dano. And you guys just sit there and look at me funny when I ask about news of the day. So I'm just going to try to quit that habit, and we'll just dig into episode 502, which, is that an engine? 502 seems like something to me. Anyway, episode 502. It's Tuesday, so it'll be Second Amendment issues and big gap in the middle. I think we're going to talk about Minuteman University, and then State of the State today, Colorado. So, Second Amendment issues, keeping optimistic and what's the rest of this? On point. I think that's going to be a challenge, right?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, this whole gun debate and gun control and all that. I mean, it's like anything else. We get our licks and have, states that are stand up for the right thing and end up passing the right laws, and then we have states that are California and New York and New Jersey and that kind of stuff, where they just keep infringing, if for lack of better words, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, I mean, it's optimistic. You want to keep on the ball. You want to like the topic. You got to keep on point. If you just shrug your shoulders and twiddle your toes in the dirt and give up, that's what it's going to be. You can predict the outcome if you do nothing. But if you stand up, and there's plenty of people out there that are willing to stand up with you. Some people need more motivation than others or whatever, but there's plenty of people out there, it's proven, that are on our side. So I believe staying optimistic. I was pessimistic, especially with a bunch of stuff, the federal stuff that was going on, but seeing that everybody that's down for the cause, I guess, I think it's easy to stay optimistic. And I think that it's not something that I think is going to be winnable, like it'll go away, but I definitely think that we could have things lean more our way.
See, I think I am optimistic that it is something that can go away for a long time because we've lived through that. I guess some of you forget what it's like growing up with the assault weapons ban, but the repercussions of the assault weapons ban was, remember that movie, The Matrix? We've talked about that movie on here. It's a science fiction movie. It had some guns in it. That one part where I think the helicopter smashes into the side of the skyscraper and there's like a big wave, like if it dropped into the water, like a big wave happens and all the glass shatters. You know that scene I'm talking about? Pretty epic scene where the splash kind of happens through the side of the skyscraper. So that's basically what happened in the House and the Congress. Basically, there was a repercussion from the assault weapons ban was every Democrat got taken out, and anybody who was anti-gun was gone. And it was to the point, if you can remember, the assault weapons ban years, gun control did not come up. There was fear of ever bringing that up as a topic. Why we got the assault weapons ban 10 years later without really any effort back off the books. And since then, it hasn't had any effect, right? And we're still dealing with that some of that repercussion. So I think it's possible to become, I keep saying, a non, what am I trying to say? The non-anticipated, what's the word? The adversary that can be anticipated, right? We don't want to be that. We want to be somebody who, when they hit us, we come back. Why are we not coming back, the other way when they come at us? We should not be just resisting. We should be resisting and then taking some of that cake back. And if we do that a couple of times, even if we just get loud, they go away. They have other things that they can pick at or, campaign against or for or whatever. We just happen to be a real consistent adversary.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's like the whole point right there. If we keep fighting back and we keep having something to say, if we don't say nothing at all, that's it. That's what's gonna be. But as long as we are there to keep fighting back and show, I mean, there was crap, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was West Virginia, but somebody where there was somebody Democrat in charge, and they had enough, phone calls and stuff like that to go against the anti-gun bill, and they won. They got their way. So I mean, I don't know, it's doable definitely, but we just can't be quiet about it. We can't just sit there and think the typing away on our computers and stuff like that. And I'm not talking crap. I'm just saying, we actually have to do something and be vocal. We ain't gonna be vocal, then that's gonna be it right there.
Well, yeah, take a page from the social justice warriors today that are getting so many stupid laws and stuff passed, and yet there's such a minority even among the crazy Democrats. But they make the most noise, they get the most press, they get the most action taken for them.
Yeah, and they don't even make sense half the time. So imagine if we came logically and we're making noise.
Too true.
Yeah.
I was going to throw out there too the concept that I know that sometimes people are going to hear this. I can't imagine people that listen to us live are going to listen to this and think this, but I'm sure it's going through people's minds potentially, and I'm sure others that might just casually come across this, whatever, and hear us preaching to the choir, and they're going to dismiss this as preaching to the choir. And I tended to agree with that concept or that perception of it until I talked to Chris Knox at the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and he brought it up in that media summit that they had the day before, and he brought it up to these bloggers that he used the analogy that he goes to choir, he sings in a choir, and you literally practice so that you sing better, so that you sing in harmony, and you're all in the same tone, or I don't know all those terms, but you know what I mean. They practice so that they sing better together. So I know that this can seem like a lot of preaching to the choir, and I know that there's a lot of rallying the troops and cheerleading and stuff, but to some extent I feel like, for me at least, it's to practice so that when I have conversations in real life, it's not the first time I'm presenting my point of view on something. And a lot of times for me, it's not with anti-gunners. I just don't come across a lot of those. But for me, it's a lot of people who are pro-gun but are willing to let go of a brace or willing to ignore this plea for action, because it's not perceived as important to them. And hopefully when we have these discussions like this, like I say, other people are hearing this and using the chats to communicate, using the comment fields afterwards to communicate and have the conversations, and develop our positions, so we can clearly and efficiently get the points across. You don't always win a conversation when you're having it, but if you can leave some kernels in their head that are reasonable, it's going to be tough for them to ignore that. They hear something efficient and concise, and they walk away from that conversation, and you might have changed a mind.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people out there still that when you're trying to argue your point to them, they're kind of hard-headed about it and have their own way of seeing it. But like you said, though, it's planting that seed and maybe possibly adding that little bit of doubt to their, well, we give this up. Who cares about bump stocks? I'm just throwing that out there for an example or whatever. But stuff like that, and maybe that seed will grow one day. Who knows?
No, nothing else to get them thinking.
Yeah.
Threw an offer out there to the gun channel side, of course, because we don't care so much about the YouTube side, unlike a lot of the channels out there. But if they want to join in, they can be part of this discussion. We do have a chunk of the show in the middle that we leave open for guests, and if you'd like to be one of the guests tonight, we can talk about this and the next thing we're going to be talking about, which is sort of the same topic, I guess, in a way. But before we do, we like to break between the first and second segment to feature one of the members over at Gun Chat.
Tonight, what is this here? Oh, we got a newbie up tonight. Well, no, not really new, but a bunch of guns and gear. So he's been running his chat. What what is it, Fridays, I believe, something like that. But yeah, so he's been running chats, doing a lot of stuff. I'm actually going to confirm right now.
Fridays
But
are scheduled, but I think he just did one the other day, like, and just for, or was it today even, for like a half an hour or 20 minutes, sort of like what Gun News Network created as a 20-minute news segment.
oh, really? That's interesting. And then I didn't catch it, but yeah, that's definitely neat. But yeah, he's one of again, one of the new guys that just dove in, man, head first, went right to work, and I love it. Love seeing that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I've watched his stuff for a while, so kind of cool. He's now in the come to the side of the force.
Yeah, and you're right too, G Webs. He's on at 7 Eastern on Fridays, Right of the People. So yeah, I would do that thing you were talking about yesterday too. I guess what are they calling it, Blitz or whatever? You guys go over and check out his channel. Yeah, it would definitely be worth it because I caught a few of his chats. I'm usually not around for the Friday ones, but they're pretty interesting. So yeah, I would definitely go and check it out. Subscribe.
All right, I threw a couple of links out there for people if they wanted to jump in. Feel free, and we will continue on. If anybody else didn't get a link, wants to jump in, let us know. So, like I say, we got a segment here in the middle where I just finished doing, well, scheduling. I guess I didn't do anything. I just scheduled a bunch of shows up for the Minuteman University project. So we started this as sort of a auxiliary to Every Second Matters. The Every Second Matters is an awareness campaign, and I didn't want to muddy it up and turn it into noise. So if, in other words, if someone went to Every Second Matters and just wanted to hear about the news of Second Amendment issues, they didn't need it to be also a place to learn, things, skills or anything. So this Minuteman University is just another website where I'm going to put efforts towards putting up some tools for people, some, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for, tutorials, quick tutorials on some of the basic concepts, things like setting up a project, setting up a logo, setting up a website, or setting up a social media account, or a project, or setting up a store. And we'll get some experts on. We've arranged to talk to people like Clover and others that'll take us or give us info on specifics, and we'll set them out there as like 20-minute videos. I just posted a video over on the Gun website side where you can take a look, but I just got them scheduled out basically until we start the tour, and then right before the tour I'll schedule out a bunch more, and we'll just keep doing these. Actually, they're going to go up about every few days, so they'll just be little 20-minute videos that get created and posted every few days on the kind of behind the scenes and the tech, the how-to, and that'll create this Minuteman University project throughout the year. And then as people explore some of these concepts and create some projects of their own, we'll help them develop them, and again, bring in experts and stuff to answer questions, do all that stuff live, and then create like an archive for people in the future that want to come along and start a project or get into this kind of stuff. And of course, we'll keep adding to it as the new stuff happens, the new platforms come along and the new tech comes along. So Cycle jumped in. Thanks for joining. We're kind of talking about how to keep on task, right? How to keep upbeat and optimistic about this, how to keep people motivated. Any ideas? You ever done? I'm thinking you've done stuff like this before, correct? Maybe not working with a microphone, but
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you put more than one switch in. I did the thing on the computer and forgot this new stupid microphone has a switch on the dongle, so I had to dangle the dongle. But I think the most important thing is to work locally, because working at the national level is incredibly frustrating, and you're better off locally, and you have more influence locally. And that can have a percolation kind of effect eventually. So, for instance, I spend a lot more time than I used to with my local representative. Anytime he has a meet and greet, a coffee thing, a pizza deal, I'm there. And any questions he has about 2A related topics, we were talking a little bit about bump stocks and stuff earlier in the chat, on the side chat. My representative is not a gun guy, but he knows I'm a gun guy. And so he's like, tell me about this. Why is it good? Why is it bad? What do you think? Give me your opinion on how we ought to approach this. And he's not talking to the NRA, and he's not talking to GOA. He's talking to somebody from his town that has a vested interest in what's going on. And I've also giving testimony. Every time they have a bill like this come up, I submit written testimony, which becomes public record. And then I usually, I'll go and spend an entire day at the state legislative office building to give 3 minutes worth of testimony. But you have to show up. You have to be seen. The people on those committees need to see that you're interested, and you have to outnumber, really, the naysayers, the bad gun people. And that, I'll tell you, when you go in there and you've got 5 rows of conference room full of pro 2A people, that is a good feeling, and it makes you feel better about the fight.
Yep.
Yeah, it must make you wonder, though, how is it we're losing?
We're losing because we're still outnumbered 90-10.
Yeah. Where are we losing, though? I don't agree with that necessarily.
Well, you don't live in Connecticut.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
But we are doing better. I'll tell you, the last few years, things have been turning around, and it has been, even in Connecticut, it has been better.
And
that's what I was.
Well, and okay, so that's one of the things that is still an issue. The bump stock thing, for example, I think we just talked about, just got placed in about 3 or 4 different states without any kind of ballot or anything. They just did it, right? So that could be an immediate campaign or an immediate push, right? To, I don't know how to reverse that, but it would be probably
Massachusetts did it exactly the same way Connecticut did the assault weapons ban. Massachusetts did it in the dead of the night, no public comment. They did it as an emergency, shove it through in the middle of the night with no public comment. The same exact strategy that Connecticut used to pass the assault weapons ban.
Right, and that's in a way that if they did it with anything else, pretty much people would hold them. Well, they would remove them from office, right? So again, that we're losing an opportunity here. Not only are you having to suffer through it, or all of you are having to suffer through it, but we're missing an opportunity to work together to address this immediately, and not at some point in the future when it's had time to not, be potentially of no consequence. Let's remove it now when they don't have any kind of time on the clock to look at it as being a success.
Yeah, and that's another problem in Connecticut. No recall. We don't have the ability to do that, and we don't have the ability to do what the hell does California call it when they have the big, they get so many votes on a petition and then they have to take a statewide vote and for stuff. We don't have that ability either. So we couldn't do a statewide petition and then force a vote to say we want that law off the books. But you got to work with what you got. I mean, that's part of the deal. You got to work with what you got.
Ballot initiatives, right?
Yeah, ballot initiative. Thank you.
Well, again, when we've got large organizations that have potentially millions of members, how many hundreds of thousands of contacts does it take to a chamber of commerce or a manufacturer or, I don't know, some kind of travel industry to affect change? So that we know that there's lobbyists that have clout, that have influence with the people who are making these crazy laws. So again, a tactical, right, a strategic look at the situation would be, how do we get people from out of state to influence your state? But we don't want to corrupt it. We're not trying to work outside the system. but we could, again, look at other places we have influence. I like to think of some of the states that have big tourism as being vulnerable to influence from people outside of the state.
That's true. Where are we going to take it from here?
Try to read some of the chats, I suppose.
Well, like we said, locally, the important thing is find your local Second Amendment organization and get involved. I mean, attend the meetings, donate. We have a CCDL. Everybody has a CDL, right? Everybody has a Citizens Defense League, whether it's Arizona Citizens Defense League or the Connecticut Citizens Defense League or Vermont or Virginia. Everybody's got an organization like that in your state. And if you don't, start one. And 2 years ago, 18,000 members. Now 40,000 members. We've doubled our size in the last 2 years because people see the writing on the wall with what's been happening to us. And the more people we get, the more of a political power we become, because we put together, report cards on the guys that run for local office. We put report cards on for our representatives and our senators and the new governor's race is coming up. And we let our members know who the good players are and who the bad players are. We give out a legislator award every year to the legislator that has done the best job protecting our gun rights. Things like that, they make a big difference.
And the efforts of the individual out there, again, we're trying to talk about how to be optimistic or why to be optimistic. The efforts of the individual, you don't know the consequences of that. So you're talking about doubling a state level organization from tens of thousands to doubling that to 40s of thousands or whatever. And that's more than just like a number in a roster and a certain amount of dues, dollars in dues paid every year. Those are human beings. Those are resources. So you've got people in there that are web developers, people that know e-commerce, people that are, doing computer stuff that are all potential help. You got marketing people, you've got, graphic people. So you've got people that can be useful to these organizations and help them be more effective, when you've got larger organizations. So if you're discouraged, I'm only X amount of people, I'm only X amount of subscribers, only X amount of viewers to my videos, if the 14 people that you reach are valuable to the organization, then you never know. So I think it's definitely worth the efforts, and again, to keep optimistic. There's plenty of struggles out there, but we're also got the momentum. I mean, again, think of the stuff that's happened here. If the things that have happened in the last year, intentionally with guns. Remember, all these people that chose to do evil things chose to do them with firearms for a political reason. They could have chose any other implement. They chose guns. But anyway, even with that, influence, if this stuff would happen in 2013, in the midst of all of that push after Sandy Hook, we'd probably live in a whole different world right now. And it didn't happen this time. So it's easy to be pessimistic, but I think let's, try to stay optimistic. And I don't think you have to fool yourself into being optimistic. I think really there's plenty of reasons to be confidently optimistic about where we're at.
Right. And you don't have to start with a statewide organization. The gun range, the Marksman's Club that I belong to, we have a board of directors and we have little committees. We realized last year we don't have a legislative committee, and we don't inform our members of the bad legislation that's coming down, what we think about it, who they should be talking to. And we just started that up last year, and it's already showing results. We've had a how to talk to your legislator session that we got people from our state organization to come in and train people. How do I write a memo? How do I send an email? How do I give my opinion in such a way that respectfully informs your state legislators? And that wasn't a very big thing, but there's another 275 people that have an opportunity to understand what's going on and to do something about it, because now we have a legislative committee and people that are tracking the legislation and letting our members know when bad things are happening. So it doesn't take much.
For sure.
Well, the gun channel side, unfortunately, has died off since Cycle Camp jumped in here, and the YouTube side is worthless. They're talking about food and stuff. So, unfortunately, that's not very encouraging. So we'll keep moving so that we don't get discouraged. And I guess we'll go into one of the other topics. And of course, Cycle, feel free to stick around as long as you want. I guess we'll do the gun shop of the day. That'll give everybody a break. And we'll turn off the lights here. Nobody fall asleep. No talking. We'll watch this film strip.
Next up, the loophole tour is Top Gun Sports. This is in Taylor, Michigan, outside of Detroit. This was on the tour as we were heading out of Detroit and down towards Toledo. We had asked before we even went on the tour for suggestions of gun shops, and this was one that was suggested by many people. And it's a pretty cool shop. They were very friendly people. We do a bit of a walkthrough here, and you get some stills, but you get an idea. It's a large shop, lots of inventory. I'd say easily as much inventory as any of the medium to even large size box stores, but a local shop. I don't think it's a chain. I think it's just the only location. We did the live show from the parking lot, and I noticed that their sign out front in the parking lot even is a welcome to the city. So I think it's neat to see a gun shop be an ambassador to the city like that, at least on one of the boundaries, I assume. It's a neat shop. I didn't spend a lot of time there, but we did chat for a bit, and like I say, really friendly people there. I'm assuming we're going to get some feedback from people that have been to the shop, so let us know in the comments if you visited Top Gun. And I don't know if I mentioned there's an indoor range there as well, and it's one that we do plan to visit again. So this is another one. Stay tuned for more in the Gun Show Loophole Tour. As always,
guys and gals, a gun website.
This is a pretty neat one. Michigan, south of Detroit.
Really? I didn't even think they had guns in that part of the country.
Kind of neat seeing the gunsmith room with a big window like that. Nice and bright in there. And you can imagine if that guy's swamped and he's got all kinds of projects laying around, that's got to be good. I think that's cool, because then people can come over and have expectations that are realistic, right? If he's just sitting on his thumbs, you can run in and be like, hey, fix this site or something. And I really like this. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's a neat place. It looks a lot smaller than like when you go into the inside, it's huge.
Have you been there?
No. I'm saying from the pictures.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's kind of, you come into the middle. It's one of those kind of stores. So you come in and you kind of go to the right and you're in the range area, I guess. And then if you come in and go to the left, that's where I'm at here. It's like their inventory. So lots and lots and lots of guns. Like I say, pretty nice guys. They had, I don't know, 4 or 5 guys working there. And then people over at the gun, the range area. And then imagine a gunsmith also. That looked more like somebody's room, not like a community tool area, you know?
Yeah, that looked like somebody's
all
office.
that.
What?
My bad, Bob. Go ahead.
It kind of looked like it was like somebody's personal work area, his office area almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, gunsmithing.
Now, were them boarded up area? That was all range area, them boarded up areas, or was part of that like the store, and then one of them was the range or whatever?
What boarded up areas? Like here?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't really see good on the phone.
I think it's brick.
Yeah, that's just a really ugly building. It's just a building with no windows, and that's its ugly design. So there's no that's when you come into the front door. This side here is all guns. This side here is like the beginning of the range. I'm guessing the range goes in back. And then that other part you don't see must be their like warehouse area.
Oh,
so,
right on.
Pretty big facility, and like I say, kind of a cool place. So we did put this one up a while ago now, and got plenty of comments, 13 comments already, and pretty much everybody is saying that it's a good shop and they've been there and they like the place. And they're also letting us know about more. So we talked about yesterday already, the new tour and all that, correct? Every day we try to feature a new gun shop, and we'll be doing. Hopefully, we can. I just posted another 6 or something today, so hopefully that'll take us. There'll be enough from 2017, and then going up to Vegas here and stuff. We should have enough to continue to have a new gun show, new gun shop or gun show video coming out every single day up until we're back on the road, and then of course we'll start collecting even more.
Cool.
Very.
Right on. So will that take us into the state of the state then?
Sounds good.
Word. So we are doing Colorado. Is this now when you got back and then went back out, or is this part of a tour, or is this just
Colorado we've hit a few times now, but the way we were doing it there was after, that was basically the last new state on the tour. After the Gun Rights Policy Conference, instead of coming back to Tucson, I went north to Oklahoma City, then west to Dodge City in Kansas, and then to Colorado Springs to see Dragon Man, and then that's when I came south and went back to Tucson. So that was the Colorado portion of this one.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I was looking at Colorado, man. They are mighty wordy. I thought they were a little bit better than what they are being out this way. But anyway, so a state permit to purchase, no, on both long guns and handguns. Firearm registration, no. Assault weapon law, no. Denver ordinance bans assault weapons. Magazine capacity restriction, yes. After July 1st, 2013, magazines holding more than 15 rounds may not be sold, transferred, or possessed unless they were lawfully owned.
Did we just lose his volume?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm back?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I think I was unplugged for some reason. All right. So where did I leave off at? Magazine capacity?
Yes.
All right. So magazines holding more than 15 rounds may not be sold, transferred, or possessed unless they were lawfully owned prior to July 1st, 2013. Firearms with tubular magazines, which are either chambered in 22 or operated by lever action, are exempt from this regulations, as are magazines permanently altered to limit the capacity to 15 or less. Owner license required? No. Concealed carry permits? No. For long guns? Yes. For handguns. Colorado is a shall issue state for concealed carry. Permits are issued by local sheriff offices to county residents. Open carry? Yes. For long guns and handguns. Legal without permit requirements, except in Denver and other posted areas. So not, I guess, city limits, maybe. Well, major city. Anyway, Denver. Concealed within a vehicle, yes, for long guns and handguns. No permit is required. Pistols may be carried with chamber and magazine loaded. Rifles and shotguns must be carried with an empty chamber, but the magazine may be loaded. State preemption of local restrictions, yes, for long guns and handguns. Local ordinances are preempted by state law, but Denver bans assault weapons and open carry. NFA weapons restricted, no on long guns and handguns. NFA items are defined as, quote, dangerous weapons. Subsection 5, quote, it shall be an affirmative defense to the charge of possessing a dangerous weapon that said person has a valid permit and license for possession of such weapon. Peaceable journey laws, yes, for long guns and handguns. Denver's restrictions on transport possession of firearms in vehicles do not apply to persons traveling to or from other jurisdictions. See Trinan versus City and County of Denver, 53P3D 754. Castle doctrine, yes, for long guns and handguns. A legal resident of a property has the right to use deadly force to defend themselves, other occupants, and property from armed or unarmed intruders, known colloquially as "Make My Day Law," in reference to a line spoken by Dirty Harry Callahan in the film Sudden Impact. Stand your ground law, no. Background checks required for private sales, yes, for long guns and handguns. For private party to transfer of firearms, the seller must request that a licensed dealer perform a background check of the buyer and must get approval of the transfer from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. Transfers of antique firearms, bona fide gifts, or loans from immediate family members, and transfers to estate executors or trustees are exempt. Temporary transfers are strictly regulated. And that, unfortunately, is Colorado in a nutshell. I mean, they're not horrible. They're not the worst, but yeah, they're a lot worse than I thought they were. Colorado. State of the state rating, meh. Poor.
Yeah, that 15 round mag limit, and that's bad.
Do we know if there's any effort against, to change that?
Not publicly recorded that I know of. Looking right now, actually.
I don't understand what Pawnery is asking on the gun channel side.
What? Oh. I would imagine horrible, but I don't know. Let's see here. Yes, like I'm not seeing anything. NRA, ILA, a permit to carry concealed handgun or weapon issued to a person 21 or older by a state that recognizes blah, 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 blah. Colorado law shall, yeah, they're not, there's nothing that seems to be active right now that I can see. If someone's out there from Colorado and correct me, please do. But yeah, that's not great.
Yeah. Is that pretty much the worst of their laws, though? Is that 15 round mag limit?
No, they require you to go to FFL for transfers between private parties.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the worst of the laws.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And in Denver, for some reason, like I don't know, Denver must be high murder rate or something like that. I don't know, gun violence. I don't know what their problem is with Denver, but Denver like doesn't allow nothing.
That's weird. Like, I mean, that is literally like we only have to use legal like paperwork transfers for pistols. We don't have to do it for rifles. So I mean, that's worse than Canada's laws in that one way. Although all the rest of their laws are better, even the 15 rounder.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that'll take us on to movie of the day. So every day we try to come up with a gun-related movie, something you might not have seen in a while, or if you're one of the audience out there, something you ain't seen yet. Generation Kill. Anybody seen this one?
Yeah, that's in Iraq. Is that the second Iraq war or the first one there?
Oh, that's a good question. Second, I think.
I'm pretty sure it was. I was thinking it was the second. Yeah, it was the second because they were actually in Fallujah and stuff, I think.
HBO series. I didn't know. I mean, I saw it on DVD. I never saw it on the TV or nothing when it was. So it came out like a weekly thing or something.
Yeah, it's an HBO miniseries.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, I've only ever seen it on DVD. I don't know how it was presented originally or what.
I never
Anyway.
seen it.
Oh, you have not seen it?
Never.
It's embedded footage, right? That's basically all it is. I don't even know if you ever see the cameraman, do you?
I don't think so.
So it's just
Oh,
like
so it's like fucking body cams or type of stuff.
no, it's a camera crew, and they're definitely documenting it. No,
Oh, okay.
documenting it, but it's sort of as if there was like a fly on the wall, except they're actually kind of talking to the dudes the whole time, right? They are talking to the camera and being interviewed, I guess. Am I mixing it up with the Restrepo? It might be.
No, you're right. It's a Rolling Stone reporter embedded with the First Recon Marines. But it's a recreation. It's not I mean, it may have actual footage in it, but it is a dramatization of the book.
Oh, okay. That sounds kind of neat, though.
Oh yeah, it was pretty decent. I mean, it's about Marines, but it's still okay.
How old is it? 2000s? Like year wise?
2008.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of modernish.
So Lockjaw is saying Generation Kill is actors. I did not get that impression from it. So which is the correct part there? Is it legit or is it actors?
I think it is actors.
Because Judy Reyes is in it, and she's an actor. I mean, Rudy Reyes is an actor.
Oh, okay. So it's just a movie in format of an embedded reporter.
Well, it's a dramatization based on his book. His book was written in 2004.
Oh, well, I like it a lot less now then. I thought it was legit. It seems legit.
I mean, that's the thing is he wrote his book that when he was embedded, and it's pretty much it follows the book pretty well.
Where did they film that? Because it seems like it's there. Like there's a pretty good Afghanistan set somewhere.
Probably like California or something, Death Valley or some shit.
Yeah, they have villages for training that you would swear you'd been dropped into Afghanistan.
Well, how are we divvying out these thumbs then?
I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up.
2?
Oh yeah, 2 thumbs up for sure.
All right, Cycle.
Haven't seen it.
Jimmy has not seen it.
I'm not thumbing this one tonight, fellas. I haven't seen it.
No thumbs for the Marines. I'm gonna give it 1 because I would have probably gave it 2, but now that I know it's fake, then I'm only giving it 1. I'm gonna have to go watch it again and watch it with Dad. I guess no one told me. I just assumed. So it's that legit. It
well, but if you saw it and you thought it was real, must have been a pretty good movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seemed realistic. So it wasn't like Platoon. Like you watch Platoon and you're like, yeah, whatever, right? It's a dramatization or whatever. It's not. I mean, Full Metal Jacket, I guess, seems a little bit more realistic, but this seems like a million times more realistic than either of those two.
Well, I think that was the point of the way they shot it too. Eh? They shot it as if this was really,
What about that one called Restrepo? Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing, or is that legit just footage from over there?
I think that's legit footage. Because then they interviewed those guys.
That was like half. I thought that was half and half. I thought that was like intermingled with excuse my language, with like footage and with actual footage and with recreation. I might be wrong. I don't know. That's that.
I'm pretty sure that it was like real footage, and then they interviewed the actual troops afterwards. Like they had them, talking.
That's what I thought, or at least I thought at the end it said like so and so did this and that or something. Like this is what they became of them. Okay, well that was our movie of the day. I think we need more. So if you like movies or watching things that are like movies, like TV or whatever, then let us know. And here's the other thing: we'll take podcasts, right? We'll take blogs or something cool that you've been watching that's gun related, like maybe an Instagram feed that's decent, and we'd be happy to just kind of share the gun-related medium, gun-related entertainment stuff out there. Gun of the day. Changing it up a little bit.
John Wayne BB gun? I mean, I guess it's a gun.
You said you didn't like it.
I don't like John Wayne BB. I didn't.
Looking at this one on the Daily Gun, on the hashtag Daily Gun Show Showdown, or whatever we're calling it. I thought you said you didn't like this one.
I don't like the John Wayne BB gun. I don't like any of the BB guns. I don't like the daisies.
Well, it ain't a daisy. It looks like very much like a daisy, though. What do you guys?
Works the same.
See, now
I remember that. I remember that.
Now that the gun of the day is in Bob's, like whatever Ian did yesterday, now he doesn't like the gun of the day anymore. I don't like this one.
I remember that little ugly gun with the groove that goes all the way down the stock, and I still think it's gross.
You don't like it either? Psycho, what do you think about this thing?
Meh.
Oh, dang, nobody's giving it any love. I think it looks
because you put John Wayne's face on it doesn't mean that it's worth anything.
Well, I think at this point, it's not like a bunch of little kids know who John Wayne is. So this is keeping the guy's legacy going to me. So Red Ryder is a bunch of nothing. It's like a fake, wish it was probably Roy Rogers or something, right? Where this is legit his, I'm assuming some family or foundation. With John Wayne, don't you assume that any money John Wayne is making at this point goes to some like hospital or some fund for kids? I mean, I'm sure that's what all these actors did back in the day, right? So I mean, just keeping John Wayne alive and then keeping an alternative to the Daisy. Daisy's kind of boring. This thing has a big loop on it.
Now, if it was the Tom Mix BB gun, I might go for it. But yeah, John Wayne, he's so
seriously think Tom Mix is going to be known as much as John Wayne? I know at one point it might have been, but I don't think very many Tom Mix.
John Wayne was just one of those up-and-coming bit actors.
Yeah, he just did 176 movies or whatever, and he's known everywhere as a household name. But yeah, Tom Mix, the singing cowboy from like the 30s.
Hey, and the man was multi-talented.
Oh yeah, you could sing and ride a horse and rope probably, right? Was he one of them roper guys?
Oh yeah, he was a real cowboy who got into acting.
Okay. Next, they'll come out with the Shane 6-shooter or something like that. Yeah.
Well, that was the gun of the day. We tried a new thing. It flopped. We'll see. Maybe we could sign it off on them tomorrow. The money could go to a funded surviving relatives. Yeah, that's what I would think.
Well, he has a cancer foundation.
Yeah.
Really? He beat lung cancer when he was younger.
No, I haven't heard anything, but there are those what are they, nonprofit or whatever?
Yeah.
Like whatever. Anyway, those there'll be like lists or indexes, right, of how much the funds go to the actual focus of the charity and how much go to overhead and how much go to marketing and that kind of thing. So I'm not trying to endorse it or nothing, but I'd say if it's legit and it's just a fundraising effort for the hospital or the cancer center or whatever it is, then I'm all about it.
If it's a fundraiser thing and it's under $50 or something, like
I don't remember what the price is. I don't even think I looked. I was really just looking for pictures. And then he had a revolver thing there too, but from what I looked at, you remember those really cheap ones that you'd get back in the olden days where they had the red caps where they were a ribbon and they would and slide up and pivot up. It's that kind. It looked like that kind of thing, and that seemed kind of weird.
Well, they were realistic for the time because those cowboy guns never ran out of bullets, so your cap oil was generally a couple hundred pounds.
Yeah, whatever that thing was, 100 or something in that little thing.
Well, you would think though, if it was like through the foundation and through like his name, I don't know, wouldn't they go through a little bit of effort to try and kind of actually recreate? Not like do an actual replica or something for a kid's toy, but I mean.
Oh, no, it's probably a replica of one of his guns. I'm just saying it was of that style. It seemed really like shiny and, that kind of like Long Ranger 6-shooter, not.
Well, no, I'm even talking about that lever gun. Like, what the hell was that?
Oh, yeah, it was kind of boring, I guess. But then again.
But the lever gun was like from his True Grit character because it has the big open loop.
And I don't think as many people would buy a big lever gun that's all chromed out and engraved and long range. Andrew's saying they got cancer because the Westerns were shot in the old nuclear testing areas. I never thought about that.
No, John Wayne got cancer because he smoked like 8 packs of cigarettes a day.
Hey, he cut his smoking in half after he lost his first lung.
Yeah, right. It would have been cut in half anyway.
So then David's saying, do you remember the cap guns that had the plastic strips of caps, and you could actually load shotgun shells in the double barrel shotgun? They had caps inside them.
Yeah.
I had the strip gun. Yeah.
I never had the shotgun that you put caps in, but I do remember that one. And you'd break it open, you'd put the 2 caps in, right? And then bang, bang, and then you'd have to reload it again.
Yeah, I've never even seen one of those. That would be neat, but I did have the strip ones. The strip ones and then the little like circles ones that you put in the little revolvers.
Was a revolver, right? And they would just come out the top and fall off.
No, there was a little 1911. I had a little 1911 one that you could actually like. They would fit in the magazine and beat.
But I'm saying there was a revolver one too. Now that I'm thinking about the strip one, that there was a
Yep.
Yeah, they had one where you could like pop off the caps, and then another one where it came in a circle and you could just put it in the cylinder.
Yeah, it almost looked like a moon clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can still get those ones at the dollar store made out of cheap plastic.
They're not like they used to be though, but yeah, you can.
Speaking of dollar stores, you know what I like in there is those $1 windbreakers that just unfold out of a little thing the size of like, Kleenex or something.
Like the ones you get at Disney when it starts raining.
They're almost single use, but if you're careful, you could probably wrap it up and use it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing about dollar store guns is that you could never get them to go like this.
What?
Yeah, or that. That'll work.
I figured I'd have to retaliate today.
So which one of those is the bump stock and which one of those is the real full auto?
Yeah, well, I think Jimmy's is Ma Deuce from the sound of it.
Yeah, because it's a lot slower. The fire rate's a lot slower on that one.
Mine's the M60. I don't know what Jimmy's shooting.
I had an MP5, an M4, and an AK. So
pistol caliber rounds out there.
You're surrounded. Anyway, you guys know what that. Whatever. Crack knuckles, keyboards, whip them out. That's what it's ready to do.
You know what we could do?
What?
Stall. No, I mean, don't stall that long. But I can open up a picture of the stuff we got on the board, and they could literally pick their patch right now as a winner. Think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Has it ever even been done before? Does anyone even know that's technically possible? Oh, it scared Jimmy away. Dang it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Forget that technology scares Jimmy.
He was shocked and awed.
A lot of times before the show, he'll be like, just don't throw anything new at me because I get scared.
There he is.
Thanks, whoever was out in the audience that encouraged him to come back. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I needed it. So today we are doing a visual pop quiz. So I'm going to head over to my Instagram real quick and ask you guys what's so special about that flashlight. What is unique? It's a TLR2. So what is unique about that TLR2?
Can you zoom in?
No. That would be cheating.
Control scroll? No.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, I picked the 1 hour one, so we're probably going to need it. I have the 1 hour countdown clock here.
Sean says built-in laser.
No. More specific.
Wireless.
More specific. Wireless. More specific.
Solar. Really long thumb next to it. Oh, get nothing. Built-in red dot.
No.
strobe. No.
Read it.
Oh, Girly Outdoors says IR laser.
Uh-oh.
I will take that. Yes.
Hold on. It's going to take a while on a 1 hour one. Find the end.
It's there though somewhere.
Well,
There you go.
Pant said photon laser blaster. That's pretty close to an IR laser, don't you think?
It's
Yeah.
tell us what type of photons and what spectrum.
And I mean, it's called the TLR2 IRW, but I mean, you know, not giving it away or nothing.
I
but
can't
yeah.
read that.
Me neither.
Oh, that's why you didn't put on it.
Yeah. But
Okay.
that's all good.
All right, so it looks
So
like
congratulations. Who'd you say won?
Yeah, who won?
Girly Outdoors.
Oh, congratulations, Girly Outdoors.
Do we have any kind of rules against girls winning? I don't know if we ever.
I don't know if girls ever won before, but that's
So-
just the name. That doesn't mean that's a girl, by the
You
way.
guys have to watch the. Jimmy leaves when girls are.
I know. He's scared of girls.
So we should put it next time. But anyhow, most of the stuff is up here on this board still. But feel free to grab something off of this board. You guys will have to watch the chat because it's behind here. I can't see it now. So whenever she finds, well, we're assuming that's a she. We don't gender assume nothing. But whenever they pick something, let us know. And if it's up there, we'll have them email us the address. Send
Yeah, I
it to-
guess.
Yeah. So we'll just put our address up there, and
Unlike Jimmy,
Meanwhile-
I have Zoom, so I can zoom in and wander around the patch panel a little bit. What else do we have left in the show here?
You know?
not much. But I think just history and what's going on tomorrow. But before that, I have to say, Girly Outdoors, yes, you won, and that makes you the tactical hot shot of the day.
Oh.
What was that?
Sorry about for all the people wearing headphones.
So we got a bunch of stuff from Alan Anchor out there, AK all day. These little ranger eyes. I think this one too. I don't know what this one's called. She'll tell us. Got stuff that was donated by Mr. Wright. Put a bunch of stuff up here that he's grabbed at swag at different places. Other people have donated swag. And like this high standard one, me and Bob. We bought this one also one time.
Yeah, I think so.
2A4C. It's a cool Instagram account. He sent us a couple of patches. These came from a guy, I forget the name of the company now, but for a long time we had him up as a sponsor on Gun Channels. He sent a bunch of patches and shirts. A bunch of the shirts that went out were from him. He did those peace sign bomber patches that were like a B-52 bomber as a peace sign. Anyway. The demeriter is your one next to it.
Those are cool, man. You got a whole bunch of new patches. That's nice.
It's from Costa, Chris Costa, Costa Ludus. Ash Tactical. Got the chairs
She's
again.
asking what's that ace card patch, and if you could zoom in on it.
The Ace one up here.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
that.
where that one came from. Let me go see if it says on there.
It's like a good old Grim Reaper on that one.
I think it's from Century. It says C39V2. Isn't that a Century gun?
Hey,
C30.
how many of those you got?
Just this one.
Oh.
Oh, you wanted one? We don't have any more. This one wasn't on the board. No, she can have this one if that's one she wants. So we do have that one.
That's the one she wants.
Okay, cool. So that worked out good. We'll try to do that more often so people can just grab their patches right away. So until we get the website built, we'll get that built the next day or so. Just email us, dailygunshow@gmail.com with an address you'd like to send it to. And anybody who wins, Angry's always winning and saying, whatever. But feel free to send those to somebody else. So if you want to gift your winnings, feel free. We want to send the patch out every day. And if you're not interested in creating a patch panel or accumulating patches or whatever, then let somebody else grab it or grab one for them and just tell us where to send it.
For sure. No, that was cool. New winner. It's a change. And she was right on the ball too. Beat all those regulars.
Don't be vulgar. Don't be vulgar about it. So we talked about yesterday was Hiram Stephen Maxim's birthday. So inventor of the Maxim. Get to touch on things twice. Being in a late night like this, we touch things twice.
Okay, so that was it for
That wasn't vulgar though. So then we'll keep going to Siege of Gibraltar, 1783. Which pursued by the I don't know how they're trying to say there. Something happened in Gibraltar. There's a big rock there.
Yeah, the Rock of Gibraltar. Yeah.
Amelia Earhart got married today. In here.
But she was dead.
Oh no, that was in 1931. Bunch of stuff happened in Vietnam today. Iran opens an invasion in the southeast of Iraq today in 1983. Ethiopia mounted a counterattack against Somalia in 1978. Well, that's all we got. So not very good stuff in the history today. You didn't have an early watch. What happened this morning with the early watch? That's usually where I steal a bunch of.
Yeah, that was my fault. And I was gonna jump in there, but there was a little background noise. But anyway, yeah, I actually had to. We're in the middle, for people that aren't aware, we're in the middle of getting out of where we live at right now. So I had a place that I kind of had to either go check out this morning or wait until the weekend, and we're sort of in a rush right now. So I had to jet out real quick and check that place out. Took a couple hours and ended up actually being a waste of time, kind of. But yeah, tomorrow for sure though, there will be an early watch on time, 9:30 Eastern-ish. Then after that, there will be lobbies all throughout gunchannels.com. So if you're not a member already, come on over there. Then after that, I believe primetime hours, Clovertac comes on, and then Matt's Guns and Politics. Yeah, he has his nerd chat on Monday. So yeah, it's Guns and Politics, probably a top 5 or 10 or whatever, 15. And then wrap your night up right with a tall glass of Daily Gun Show.
Tomorrow it'll be episode 503. It'll be our entertainment day. So looks like we'll be talking about favorite gun and gun sports shows. So favorite gun TV shows, I think. Good idea, bad idea. We'll be fighting over battery operated sights. Are they really a good idea for EDC guns? And then we do the hashtag Daily Gun Show Showdown. So if you're using the Instagrams, use the hashtag Daily Gun Show. And on Wednesdays, we're going to judge all the pictures that came in, and we'll decide what the best picture on the internet was. Talk about bragging rights.
For sure. That's always a good one.
When you get fancy on the Instagram, just all kinds of stuff gets gifted to you. So more than just prestige. Wealth.
Well, I guess that takes us to our quote of the day.
Almost. So we want to remind everybody that we are rebuilding gun channels right now, and we've got 9 people over there as of right now that are interested in seeing gun channels get bigger, I guess, or get to a point where we can get a what do they call that thing? A app. So that's usually the #1 requested feature of gun channels, and right now we've got some efforts towards that, but it's running for another 20-something days. Let's use this as an opportunity again to let people know about gun channels and spread the word, and again, throw a couple of bucks in there. Got things like the trading card deck. We'll be working with hopefully Angelina and Flippy in the next couple of days here. I'd like to get the design all nailed down. Stay tuned on the Gun Website's YouTube channel for some those shows being scheduled. We talked about the Minuteman University shows being scheduled. The AK-47 Guru chats are over there scheduled as well. So lots of stuff happening, getting ready for the road trip coming up at the end of March. So we'll be moving faster than slower on trading cards as one of the perks there. And then just as a way to kind of, build up the community over on gun channels and have some fun and do some stuff on gun channels in a different direction in the print media, in real life stuff you can hold in your hands. As well as we have some work on your logos. So a couple of people have taken us up on that. So stay tuned for, as soon as we get with them, we'll be scheduling times where we'll be working live with their logos and any questions they have with branding and that kind of thing while we're working on their logos. So these are educational as well as informational opportunities here. So take a look at the Indiegogo campaign we have over there. And we do encourage you to share that on the various platforms. And a lot of people love the YouTube out there. They love the Facebook. They love the Instagrams and all these other platforms. And this is, if you're interested in the gun channels being a place to, gather and help leverage some of your other platforms, then help spread the word about the place. And this campaign to do its 4th year remodel. Okay, now you can go ahead, Bob.
Okay, well, before that, I just wanted to, before we do our quote, I want to remind everybody that C4 Defense has got a giveaway in February, so check that out. Let's see here. Quote today is by, oh boy, you can tell I didn't put this one in, Toussaint Louverture. Well, that's as close as it's going to get. Before that, I want to remind everybody, please like, share, subscribe. Anyway, here we go. This gun is liberty. Hold for certain that the day when you no more have it, you will be returned to slavery. I actually kind of like that quote. So, yeah, very good quote. I did not pick that one, so you can thank someone else for that. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. Support us on Patreon if you can, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Oh, I am sitting here watching the YouTube chat. Totally forgot I'm supposed to end the show, huh? So let's talk about something else while I click a bunch of buttons here. Or not. I guess we can just have dead air at the end.
But yeah, it would actually, going back to the whole app thing, it would be neat. I mean, there are ways that you can create shortcuts and all that on your desktop and on your phone and all that, but that would definitely be neat. So anybody out there, it's definitely worth taking a look at, something you're interested in.
What? Is this happening? I thought it was about to end. This actually happening. A second tactical pop quiz. It's a pretty tough one to answer because there's only one way to really answer this one. How many people are in the Gun Channels chat right now? How many people are in the Gun Channels chat right now?
4, 5, 6, 7.
you can't play cycle.
Over here counting.
I probably shouldn't be doing that out loud either, huh?
Getting bigger. Right now it's probably getting bigger. So you're getting the wrong answer. Not 7. Nope. I'm trying to find the countdown clock here.
Oh, it's better than 7.
The double quiz. A double quiz just happened. We don't play by no rules. And we are biased to the Gun Channel side. That is definitely the case.
6?
Nope, it is a lot more than 6. Or it was a lot more than 6 at the time. Very close. Pants was very close with the number 15. Almost
32.
Almost adjacent, you could say.
Actually, if you double check the count.
Oh, the count was when I asked the question.
Oh, yeah, it's changed since then.
Yeah, there's more people coming over. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a rough one.
And Gary, thank you very much, Gary. We'll just let the countdown happen here. Boom. Because it was 14. It was actually 14 at the time we asked the question. So Gary, who's been helping us out moderating the flippy attacks. We've been having all kinds of flippy attacks tonight on the Gun Channel side. Thanks, Gary. And now you're getting rewarded for all your efforts. That was not set up. He came over and counted at the right time. And let us know what you want off of this panel here. And that would give me time to go find the rest of my buttons I wanted to click here. And then you guys will have to let me know whenever he comes up with an answer because it's all behind my screen right now.
All right.
Word. Congratulations, Gary.
But really appreciate everybody who stays around and listens to the whole show, and the people who listen to the show in the future. Give us some feedback out there. We're curious how people are listening to the show, and if there's something we can do. I know we do have that have fun with the whole hot shot of the day, but we've noticed as we're trying to master the show, is that the right word, edit or mix or whatever the show, to get it up on the podcast, there is a loud part there. So if that's bugging people with their headsets, let us know, because I'm sure we'd be happy to tone it down. And if it's unnecessary and it's actually being annoying. But anyway, little tips like that or suggestions, we're always interested in them. And again, how you're listening to the show, because if there's something that we can do to make it more interesting for the people that are listening, that's our goal. And again, thanks to all the people that show up. We had 30 something people. I think it went up to almost 50 tonight. I wish it gave us like a little indicator that would tell us what our maximum was live here. But we really do appreciate it. We try to make this a interactive thing, a conversation, not just some kind of entertainment where you sit there and become a number for us. Anyway, has Gary come up with something yet? And one that he wants?
1776 United.
Long gone. I think. No, I forgot who got that. But anyway, it's gone.
Long gone.
We don't check.
So if you have a runner-up while he's checking, Gary, you might want to come up with it.
Oh, it's there. It's his. Okay, and I think I have his address. So thanks again, Gary, for helping out. And,
Sweet.
Resist the Flippy over there. Flippy was being weird tonight.
Way you go, Gary. That makes you the tactical hot shot of the day.
That's a week.
See, that's gonna mess up the editing right there too, because there was too many shushes in it. So you're gonna have to go through and edit every single one of those to make it sound right.
I'll quit ruining the show. Come on. All right. With all of that, I guess we will try to end it with this. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.
Hi, thanks from dearwebsites.com.